Sorry for that. Welcome to today's webinar organized by the IEEE Computer Society Sri Lanka chapter in collaboration with the IEEE Computer Society student branch chapters of the University of Colombo School of Computing and the SLTC Research University. We are thrilled to have you all here for what promises to be an inspiring and informative session on empowerment through leadership and volunteering. I'm Bhagya Semage from the University of Colombo School of Computing.
And I'm Thrividya from SLTC Research University, your co-host for today. And I'm sure that you are going to have a fantastic time with us tonight. We have two amazing speakers lined up, a Q&A session where you can get your burning questions answered, and a fun quiz to wrap things up. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. But let's wait a minute till the presentation comes up.
All right.
Yeah.
The IEEE Computer Society is the world's leading association for computing professionals, with members dedicated to computer science and technology from all over the world. The Computer Society supports those who grow in technology by giving tools and resources for professional career advancement. This association has long served the computer science and technology communities as a key source of technical information, community services, and customized support.
Before starting, I truly apologize for the technical issue caused. So moving on to the session. Before we delve into the today's exciting events, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the IEEE Computer Society Student Branch chapter of SLTC Research University, which was established on November 18, 2020, which has quickly become a vital hub for students passionate about computer science and IT, which fosters leadership and technical skills. In just a few years, it has celebrated numerous achievements, including the Best Student Branch Chapter Recognition at 2021 IEEE Boost Recognition Ceremony, Best Technical Chapter, and Best Industry Collaboration Project Awards for Hackathon at 2021 IEEE Sri Lanka Section Awards, the Bronze Award for Hackathon in 2022 again, and Silver Awards for Texer in 2023 at the IEEE Dollar Chunk Student Activity Awards. The chapter has organized a wide variety of events such as annual Code Mania Hackathons, Month of Code Genic series, CyberHat, which is a cybersecurity workshop, and Road to GSOC webinars, alongside workshops and boot camps on machine learning, programming, game development, and career guidance. Through these initiatives, the chapter equips students with technical skills and promotes volunteerism and professional development, remaining dedicated to inspiring and engaging its members with a clear vision for the future. Bhagya, over to you.
The IEEE Computer Society Student Branch Chapter of UCSC was established in January 2018, and since its inception, the CS chapter has hosted several workshops that have helped students learn new technologies, interact with industry professionals, and discover new trends in the world of computing. Some of the incredible events organized by the IEEE CS chapter of UCSC includes IntelliHack, an AI and ML hackathon, which was initiated in 2019, ReviveX, an initiative to assist third-year undergraduates with their internships, Python, and FlutterX workshop series to cover the basics of Python and enhance the students' knowledge in the Flutter framework. Through these activities, it organizes the student branch chapter not only provides students with technological knowledge, skills, and experience, but it also plays a significant role in enhancing personality development skills. At the IEEE Sri Lanka Section Awards Night, the IEEE student branch of UCSC garnered many awards, the most recent of which was the Best Technical Chapter Activity Award for IntelliHack 2019. Kavindu, over to you.
Yeah. So without further ado, let me introduce our first guest speaker for the session today, who is someone who truly embodies the spirit of leadership and volunteering. He is the webmaster of IEEE Computer Society Sri Lanka Chapter Student Activities Committee 2022, and he is currently working as an engineering intern at H2O.ai.
And our next speaker is a powerhouse of talent and dedication. She is the chair of the Student Activities for IEEE Women in Engineering Sri Lanka section, the Awards and Recognition Subcommittee lead for IEEE CS Sri Lanka Student Activities Committee 2022, and the Assistant Secretary for the IEEE Young Professionals Sri Lanka section. Additionally, she works as a business analyst at SimCentric Technologies. Let us give a warm welcome to Ms. Thrividya Liyanaarachchi and Mr. Nipun Weerasiri. And before I do hand off the session, I want to remind everyone that to jot down any questions that you might have, or else do drop them in the Zoom chat so that we'll have the Q&A session right after this session. So stay tuned. Nipun and Thrividya, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Bhagya and Kavindu. I guess, can anyone please confirm whether I'm visible and audible?
Yes, you are visible and audible.
All right, thank you for that. And everyone, apologies for this. I think I look kind of like a ghost, but like I'm having a power cut, so I'm joining from my mobile and my laptop. So yeah, that is why I have this weird situation. So you will hear my audio from my laptop and you will see me through my phone. So let's get started without further ado, since we lost a few minutes in the beginning. So the host gave a pretty good introduction about both of us, but like I'll add to that. So my name is Thrividya Liyanaarachchi, and I am a graduate of Weerasiri University of Sri Lanka, which is very far from here in Colombo. I studied computer science over there. I recently graduated, and now I've been in IEEE since 2019, I guess. So I've been here for quite a while, and now I'm the student activities chair of WI Sri Lanka section. I am the assistant secretary of IEEE Young Professionals Sri Lanka. And also I am a support coordinator at IEEE Region 10 Student Activities Committee. I'll give you all an introduction of my other speaker, Nipun, my very dear friend. So he's a very talented guy. He's from UCSC as well. So he's a fourth year undergraduate. He's still studying. He joined IEEE when he was very young, when he was in his very first year, if I'm correct. So he was the webmaster. I also was part of that same stack with him. So he was the webmaster there, and now he is he has ended his internship, and now he's studying on his fourth year. He did his internship as an engineering intern at H2O AI. So that's pretty much about it. So Nipun, will you take over?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Thrividya. So hello everyone. Uh, Now let's talk about the IEEE Computer Society. So what exactly is the IEEE Computer Society? So it was founded in 1946, and it is, one of the largest global communities dedicated to computer science and engineering. And it's meant to foster collaboration and knowledge sharing among engineers, scientists, academics, and industry leaders across the computing spectrum. So it serves like a catalyst for progress. And so they have these different conferences, publications, programs to empower professionals at every stage. And so for over 75 years, they have been like a pillar of knowledge sharing and education by offering a wealth of resources from industry leading publications to online learn platforms. So to ensure that every member has the necessary tools to excel and contribute to groundbreaking advancements. And so the things that the IEEE Computer Society provides includes, over 195 conferences And they also have a digital library with over 893 articles. So here, so you can, browse for the articles, and, you can look through them based on their magazines, journals, etc. They also have peer-reviewed magazines and journals, some of which including the IEEE Annals of the History of Computing, the IEEE Transaction on Computers, the IEEE ACM Transaction on Networking. So here are some of the journals and magazines that they have. They also have online education. So uh, they, they provide online courses and certifications to individuals who are interested or who are in the computer science field. And and that's really important because computer science is it's a rapidly changing and evolving field. So it's important to be on the top of the recent changes and developments that happen in this field. So yeah, those are some of the things that actually Society provides. And to talk more about the Computer Society Sri Lanka chapter, Thrividya, over to you.
All right. All right. So we are now seeing the logo of the IEEE Computer Society Sri Lanka chapter. So IEEE CSSL, let's say that, because it saves more time. CSSL was first initiated in Sri Lanka back in 2004, if I'm correct. So it has a pretty big history if we take into account the years that it has been here in Sri Lanka. But the thing is, i- right after it was initiated, the computer society became dormant here in Sri Lanka. There was nothing happening with it. It became inactive. The people who started it went everywhere, like they went abroad, and people lost connections, and no one knew what was happening. And for example, like there are certain technical aspects when it comes to maintaining a chapter. uh, the simplest example is that you need to maintain a bank account. So we didn't even have the bank account details, like things got lost until 2021, when people from the IEEE Sri Lanka section got together and decided to revamp the IEEE Computer Society. So there, a student activities committee was formed, because we know that there is a chair. It was Professor Vasantha Priyan back then. Now he's the vice chair of IEEE Sri Lanka section, and he will become the chair of IEEE Sri Lanka section next year. So yes, there were professors, there were like big shots from all universities in Sri Lanka, but these very seasoned academicians, they can't always be heavily involved and get a dormant chapter up and running. They need support, and that is why a student activities committee was initiated. So you can see both me and Nipun there. I'm on the top left, and Nipun is on the bottom right. So Nipun is, I think, the youngest of all of us there. He was a first year student when he joined, if I'm correct. So the assistant treasurer of the IEEE Computer Society in 2021, he happened to be the student SSR, the sectional student representative. He's a brilliant guy, Charmika Sudhusinga. I think some of you might have heard. Now he's in the global YP. So he went around all universities and kept handpicking students, and he made this team that would assist him and the IEEE Computer Society. So that's how we were this committee was formed, and I was the awards and recognition coordinator. Nipun was the webmaster, and there were uh, 13 of us in total. And then if we include Charmika and then Mitushan, who was the assistant secretary, there were actually 15 of us, a team of 15 people. We worked a lot. We organized webinars like this. So we started to work when there was a huge pandemic situation going on, which was followed by a disastrous economic crunch. So things were tough, but those harsh conditions, I think, made us stronger and made us closer to each other. And IEEE Computer Society, in fact, became the most active chapter in the Sri Lanka section. I think, in fact, if I'm not wrong, the Computer Society was way more active than the Student Activities Committee of the IEEE Sri Lanka section combined. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of things. We initiated a lot of things. We will talk about that later. Can we move on to the next slide, Nipun? Yeah, so that's the stats. But before Nipun starts stats, so this is an older stat record, I think. Nipun has a reason for using this, but I will tell you, like, even before that, we started with a very low count of memberships here in Sri Lanka section. Of course, all of us students had to get the membership, but other than that, I don't think there were anyone else buying memberships. And then we went on initiating chapters around student branches. We started doing projects like CS Talks, which happened to be very popular at the time. We initiated developer ventures, and then we did a massive project called IEEE TechX Sri Lanka, and we ended things high back in 2022 after organizing the world's first ever IEEE Computer Society Global Congress. Like, it was a massive global congress. We'll talk about it in the few while when we share the future slides. So yeah, it's been quite a ride, and now I'll hand it over to Nipun, so he will talk about the stats and what it is like. Over to you,
Yeah,
Nipun.
yes, thank you, Thrividya. Yeah, so these are basic stats. There's nothing much to actually go about it. And yes, it is old, and we would expect this to actually increase because I think this was these stats were taken from last year. And yeah, so as you can see, we have a lot of student members with the IEEE membership. And to talk about the membership benefits and stuff, we'll dive deep into that later. But yeah, so these are the stats from IEEE Sri Lanka. And now, what exactly do we do at IEEE CSSL? So we focus on a few things, and this is similar to what the IEEE SAC focuses on, which is student activities, educational activities, professional activities, industrial relations, membership development, women in engineering, and young professionals. So these are some of our key focus areas or the pillars that we focus on, when we work at IEEE CSSL. So yeah, and now to talk about our journey, back to you, Thrividya.
All right. So we are seeing the same poster again. So this was the very first poster when the SAC was formed. Like the very first flyer. So this holds some sort of significance because just like Nipun and me, for many of us, this was the very first national venture that we undertook. Uh, as I said in the beginning, I'm from Weerasiri University. So I think I heard Kavindu explaining that the SLTC student branch chapter was formed in 2020, if I'm correct. But my university student branch chapter was initiated way back in 2015. And it is one of the oldest student branch chapters. I think the fourth or fifth oldest chapter, student branch, sorry, not chapter, student branch in Sri Lanka. However, up until that point, we've never had any national level exposure. Yes, we were doing student branch level initiatives. We were doing projects. We were keeping the student branch active. We were participating in the IEEE Extreme. We were coding. Things were going on within the university, but nothing beyond that. And the fact that there was a whopping 200 plus kilometers between us, I mean, between Badulla and Colombo also added to that. We had no exposure. So until one day, the Charmika, so you can see the guy wearing specs in the second picture. He was in the middle wearing a checkered shirt. So he was the SSR back then, and he came to an event and he handpicked me. I was comparing that event. So likewise, Dinuka is from University of Moratuwa, Tihara is from SLTC, Vidura is from KDU, and Imeshi is also from SLTC, if I'm correct. Sajani is from uh, SLIIT, Mayuri is from University of Jaffna, Randisha is from KDU. I think Randisha is now the Student Activities Chair of IEEE Computer Society. Vidura is the Young Professionals Coordinator. Now, Vagisha is also from SLTC. Bhatusha is from University of Jaffna. Uh, Kanisha is from Wayamba University. Kavindu is from, I don't remember Kavindu's university, to be honest. I think Kavindu is from University of Pera. Then, yeah, I could be wrong. And then there's Nipun. So we were a blend. There were webmasters, there were compiers like me, there were programmers, there were content writers, like there were designers. We did everything by ourselves. Whatever happened in CS, majority, the bulk of the work we did. This team did a bunch of clueless kids at the time, joining meetings and everything from their home because everyone was at home at the time and from the pandemic. Yeah. So the next picture, so the second picture was taken at the Global Congress that I talked about, and the picture on the left corner of the second row is the very first meetup that we had there. Like, not all could come. Only a few of us could come and attend. And the other picture is one that we took at the Global Congress after the award ceremony. And then the last picture is the last outing that we had at Hilton Colombo, and this was the last time we gathered up for that meeting. Also, like, not all could come, obviously, like there were people from Jaffna as well, so yeah, they couldn't come. This was the last party thing we had. Yeah. So let's move on to the next slide. All right. So these are a few of the glimpses of the IEEE Sri Lanka section. So if you can see, this is the girl in the second picture is me. I was the host of that, co-host of that awards night. And you can see me and Nipun wearing goofy smiles everywhere. So we have chosen these pictures because the IEEE Computer Society represents a very fun time of our lives. If you talk about the pandemic, if you ask about it from anyone, like, people talk about it with so much resentment. People don't like to think about that era, the years 2020 to 2022, 2023. People don't like to talk about those years. But for us, it was filled with fun. We always had something to do. We were very willing to engage in volunteering, and uh, the more we volunteered, the more our skills developed, and the more experience we got in handling stuff, in dealing with people, and also the technical knowledge we get by the exposure we gain from interacting with experienced academicians. That was invaluable for us. And we'll talk about the Congress, more about the Congress in the coming slides. It was a massive event. So this happened at Citrus Vaskadua. Everything was done by the Computer Society and the student Sri Lanka section student activities committee, the member activities subcommittee of the Congress team of Sri Lanka section student activities committee. So yeah, so that's about this slide. We'll move on to the next slide. Nipun, I think you'll have to explain that one, yeah?
Yeah. So here also we have some snippets. So the first picture, the top left, that was like a few days or a few weeks before the IEEE Global Congress. So yeah, that we were just checking out the Citrus Vaskadua Hotel. And yeah, we were still trying to figure like how things are supposed to be done. And then the one
We
in
had
the
no clue,
middle,
by the way, right?
yeah, we had
Even
no
that
clue. We were still like, I think we were all like
nothing
super
was
stressed.
ready at the time.
Yeah, nothing was ready. Like we were all super stressed, and I don't think I remember we even made the script for our comparing like the day of the event. Okay,
Yeah,
it was
during the
pretty crazy.
morning session,
Yeah, it was
we
in the
were making
morning.
the script because we had a lot to do. Everything was on our plate,
Yeah,
and we were the ones working. I mean, it was super stressful, but still fun.
yeah. But it was a rewarding experience,
Yeah.
so that's for sure. And then the one in the top middle was when we had the TechX 2023 TechX Sri Lanka. That was hosted physically. And yeah, we have our from the so at the time we weren't in the SEC, but we were invited to join there. And yeah, and
First
that was
time we
me.
sat in a audience.
Yeah, we were in the audience. So we were just there to just witness the event. And then the one in the top left, top right was me feasting, some bunnies. It was during some meeting during the pandemic, and I was like, we had these really long meetings, and I would sometimes get hungry, and someone took a screenshot of that. So that's going to live on for a few years. And then in the bottom left, we had a meeting at Chandler's place. So Chandler was the SEC chair. Again, one of the last meetings that we had, so meetups, and yeah, it was pretty fun. We had a lot of time there, and yeah, that was the Aurudu celebration actually. So we had a lot of fun there with some games and stuff. And yeah, it was pretty cool. And then you can see on the bottom right, sorry, yeah, bottom right is still Thrividya in the AGM. So the AGM was hosted like 1.5 years after the SAC was initiated. So yeah, it was her just saying, "Oh yes, we are finally done with this." So yeah,
It
that's
was a
her.
bittersweet moment. I mean,
It
we
was,
were glad to step down, but still we are sad because we had so
yeah,
much
it
fun.
was pretty sad. Yeah,
I mean, it
so
was a weird occasion, but yeah, that's how it is. Everything comes to an end.
yeah.
Yeah, we embraced it.
Exactly. So yeah, so those
Yeah.
are some of the snippets. And yeah, I'm hoping that you guys will also experience all the stuff that we have experienced as well. And yeah,
Yeah, the reason we chose these pictures is that the title is empowering leaders, right? I think I got the title wrong. I'm really sorry. But like, if we talk about leadership within IEEE here in the Sri Lankan context is a volunteering organization. IEEE as a whole is not a volunteering organization, but what happens here in Sri Lanka is more or less volunteering. So we can't force people to come into IEEE. People have to come willingly. They should want to come and they should be willing to give their time and energy towards the IEEE courses, towards the things that are done by IEEE. So when it comes to leaderships, of course, we don't have rulers in IEEE, we have leaders, and there's no other way but leading by example when it comes to IEEE. You can always show how things are done. You can become an exemplary character. You can be the best at what you do. I mean, I'm not a very geeky person like Nipun. Like Nipun is very brainy. I'm not like that. I am a chatterbox. I talk a lot. I am good at organizing things. But I also have a computing background. So like I focus more on organizing things, comparing, hosting events. Likewise, so that's what Charmik also encouraged us to do. We made the perfect team. Like I said before, there was a combination of people with different skills coming from a computing background. So things were pretty successful with the IEEE Computer Society back then. And this is how you lead while having fun. I don't know whether you guys will get this or not. These pictures are very valuable for us. Even when we were creating these slides, we went down the memory lane. It was a very bittersweet moment for us. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure for all of us, these memories will last a lifetime, and we will always be there for everyone, each and every one of us, whenever the need comes. All right, let's move on to the next slide.
yeah. So now we'll talk a little bit about some of the events that we have hosted. So here we have TechX. So it was a collaborative initiative by the IEEE Computer Society Sri Lanka chapter, uh, along with students and young professionals. And it was sort of like a catalyst for volunteering minds in the IEEE Sri Lanka section. So it was like a virtual event that combines sessions on on different emerging technologies. There was soft skill development, leadership, and industry engagement, and it was all in a single offering. And this was like actually the first time that we hosted this event. So we have to get the funding, we have to draft the proposal. So here there's a proposal, an image, a snippet of the proposal that I pasted here. And it was very difficult because of the economic conditions that Sri Lanka was going through at the time. However, it was a success because we managed to get a panel of judges, and we had so many participants and so many people to tag along and to come with us for the ride. So it was a pretty successful session. And the next iteration actually, so the proposal for that was written by me. And I had no experience with proposal writing at all. However, that went on to become the next iteration, the TEDx Sri Lanka 2023, which was organized by the set committee that came after us. And so what I actually want, the takeaway from this is, as you can see, right? So these were the first time like that we did some of these events. So it's not always a bad idea to make that big jump, that big jump, that big leap, taking risks. People might not be, comfortable with taking risks. Maybe they like to do things that are, tried, that are tested, that, hey, this has been working for the past few years, let's do it again. People want to do the same thing again and again, but that becomes boring, that becomes then you lose that spark, that creative spark. So without this curiosity to innovate and to come up with new ideas, with new events, things would grind to a halt, right? So yeah, so it's always important to always come up with new ideas, with new ways to engage with your audience, with the volunteers. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about. And yeah, Thrividya, over to you.
Yeah, so just like Nipun said, what made it fun was the diversity. It's like we were always challenged to come out of our comfort zone and go big. It was like for us by 2022, it was either go big or go home. Um, by 2022, obviously, you all know that Sri Lanka was in a terrible economic crunch. No one had no money. There were miles long full queues, petrol queues. So, like, it was a terrible situation. Everyone was stuck at home, and people were dying on the roadside, and everyone was in a mental dilemma, sort of dilemma, right? They did, no one knew what to do, and however things have to go. Um, so I think most of you were born after in this meeting were born after 1996 or 7, right? I mean, at least the eldest of y'all must be born around 1999, I think. So I'm also like not that old from compared to you, but like I do have quite an age gap. So even then, I haven't seen much about Sri Lanka before this digitalized world. What I know is from the stories I heard from my grandmother, from my parents, and my elderly relatives. So according to them, Sri Lanka went through a terrible phase of not civil, terrible war, and then there were some civil unrestful situations happening again. But what they said that kept Sri Lanka going is how people were very adamant of on keeping things going. I mean, there were bombs blasting, but people went to work. Uh, like there were bombs blasting, but in 1996, a World Cup happened in Sri Lanka, right? So the same theory applied to 2022. We couldn't stop because the country was facing an economic crunch. I hope I'm clear, like y'all can understand. Nipun, can you understand what I said? Like,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I going around the bushes? What? All right. Okay, so
Yeah,
like the
okay.
same theory applied. I haven't seen any unrestful situations before in my life, but the theory applied, and 2022 was pretty weird. And we had no money, but we had to do a congress somehow. Then we came up with the idea, okay, the CS is pretty active. We were making headlines around the globe. I mean, in the digital world, I mean, we were pretty active in Twitter, and people from other countries look at Twitter, I guess, and they knew what we were doing. So we decided, okay, let's try and apply to do a global congress, a CS global congress, and just patch the IEEE Sri Lanka section congress to it and get it done from the CS global congress's money. So we were being a bit cunning. And what you see under how it started is the very first draft, the proposal draft I made. So in this draft, it's just a Word doc, the Google Docs document. There was just letters, right? There were no, we added this computer society logo at the last moment. There were no any images, no GIFs, nothing. No, what are those are the info I'm losing words. I'm really sorry about that. So nothing graphical there, just words. And then we came up with the budget, and budget was there. And that is the document we presented to the head of Computer Society. At the time, it was Eric Berkowitz. And we took a meeting with him, and we presented. What we did was we just read through the document. We read the document to him because we didn't have anything to present, and he was very impressed by the content we came up with. And he was like, "Okay, this is a good proposal. Let's give the Congress to Sri Lanka, the Global Congress to Sri Lanka," and that's how we got it. And at the end, we were able to pump in around I think uh, 17,000 US dollars to the country. Uh, that I think sums up, when we take the rupee rate, sums up to around 6 billion, which is a massive amount. So we had a lot of money to do the best congress ever. So yes, we went to a nice hotel, Citrus Vascado. It was a 3-day congress, 2 nights. And this is the first group picture we got during the beginning of the first day. There were delegates from around the world. You can see the in the middle, there's a guy from Turkey waving his flag. He was the only one who brought their flag. We had Indians, we had Pakistanis, obviously from Turkey, and we had several other countries as well. But obviously, we had more Indians and Pakistanis. That's why I remember those countries. Yeah, it was a massive congress, and through IEEE Computer Society, I got the chance to be the secretary of this congress. It was a global congress, and I became the secretary of a global congress, and that gave me exposure to a lot of things. Like, it was a massive deal. I'm not going highly into details about it, and Nipun was heavily involved there. Like, he was doing a massive lot with the web team, and he was in the with the designers. He also compared during the event. I bullied him into comparing because I couldn't compare. But he did a great job. It was, I think, his first time comparing. It was a massive stage, and it was very frightening. But he did a really good job because he was pushed to do good. He had no other choice but to do good. So he did really well. So for us, so like that fact that constant push was there, and we were never afraid to be pushed. I mean, when the push came, we never fell. We just stood up stronger. We didn't have a single penny when we started the Congress, and then we did the biggest Congress ever. I think sometimes thinking back, I feel bad because it will be very hard to top this one. If you ask from any delegate who's been to multiple congresses, what is your best congress experience? They will undoubtedly say this is the best congress ever. So it will be very tough to top that experience. But anyhow, like we can be still happy that we were a part of it. And the next Congress, I think the second Computer Society Global Congress was given to Malaysia. That happened in 2023, but it wasn't as big as this one. This is the biggest one. I think it was still a nice Congress, but not as nice and well put together like this. And I consider myself very lucky to be a part of that such a eventful thing in the IEEE Sri Lanka's history. Let's move to the next slide, Nipun. All right, that's yours, right?
That's actually us. Yeah, but yeah, I can go about like over the slide. Yeah, so so you can, so there are different volunteering positions both locally, in Sri Lanka, as well as global positions. So to, volunteer globally, you can go to this website here, and you'll see a lot of global positions, vacancies that are open, publications, conferences, education, memberships, and so on. So like they have many open positions for volunteers, to get involved with the IEEE CS Global. So this is one way where you could, network with people and you get to know people, and also, do good for, computer science in general. So yeah, and this was the global congress that Thrividya was talking about that happened in Malaysia. We also had quite a few delegates from Sri Lanka with the Sri Lanka flag, and yeah, obviously, like some of us couldn't make it there because tickets and all were pretty expensive. But yeah, these were the bunch that managed to go there. Next up, some of the opportunities that that we got from volunteering with IEEE CSSL, and for the most part, it was I got to know people, it was a huge networking boost for me. And, I also was able to improve my soft skills, my presentation skills. And, since we were working as a team, I also got to learn how to collaborate with different teams, with different people. And because of that, this sort of helped me, in my university career, where, we were on different competitions, because you have to present, your ideas to a panel of judges. So, you have to know how to speak, how to communicate. And so this was, very useful in so many of the competitions that I've been to. Like I was a very shy speaker before, like I didn't even do public speaking before, but because I was volunteering with IEEE CSSL, and I was forced to, do computing at one time, but later on, I started doing it, naturally. So yeah, they gave me so many opportunities to, work and to, improve myself. And yeah, I also got a chance to compare, as I said, and also many of the CS chapters, they organize, different competitions. So you can see in the top right, there was one that was actually organized by the CS chapter UCSA, called IntelliHack. This was in 2022. Yeah, 2022. Or 20, yeah, 22. Or 23, actually, I don't remember. Yeah, and yeah, so we also won a award from that. Yeah, Thrividya, over to you.
Yeah, so you can see Nipun actually comparing at the Congress. He was like very scared, but like we gave him tips and tricks on how to control his what do you call it, the glossophobia, right, the fear of public speaking. So that's why he has his hands in a weird angle, but he did really well. We got a lot of good comments about his comparing. And yeah, I'm not very sure what award is Nipun holding here, in the bottom row. What is it, Nipun?
Oh, that was a MBQ, let's say. That's also I want to thank the soft skills that I picked up. We had to do some presentations to showcase our product to the MBQSA judge community, the judge committee. So yeah, so that's I would also thank my volunteering to for helping me uplift those skills. So yeah, so that's one of the awards that we won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Nipun says, like he's very brainy and he's got these amazing awards. He has won hackathons. But like I'm not that brainy. I'm not calling me myself dumb, but like like not that gifted. But like I always had help through computer society whenever I needed. Like I had someone always to go to whenever I didn't understand a thing. Um Academically. So like everyone was very helpful and like very ready to help. And not only in Sri Lanka, like there were a few people that we got to know from around the world whilst we were active in the IEEE Computer Society. For example, Mehak, she's from Pakistan. Like she's very active in computer society, and she was also there. Like when I was an undergraduate and when I was stuck, when I couldn't find a way out, there were always people ready to help. So that's how academically CS helped. And there are lots of awards also that you can apply as students. There were Sri Lankan students who won those awards, and there are multiple Indians. So if you apply, just the fact that you are Sri Lankan will work to your advantage. And there's a very high chance if you are active in computer society and if you are a good student that you can win those awards. We'll get to those awards later on. And talking about these pictures, these are a few of my volunteering achievements. I said that in the beginning of the presentation that I am the Assistant Secretary of Young Professionals Sri Lanka, and I'm the Student and Volunteer Activities Chair of WI Sri Lanka, and also I made it to IEEE Region 10, Asia Pacific. That is what got me into R10 was my work in IEEE Computer Society. People got to know me through society, and you can't just go to R10. To be a part of the R10, you have to be recommended by some others, some seniors who are already in R10. So people in R10 knew me, got to know me, and they actually invited me to come and join. So obviously I said yes. And that was a very busy year because the same year I became a vice chair of the IEEE SLSAC, the Sri Lanka Section Student Activities Committee. I was the chapter engagement vice chair because I was pretty active in computer society, which happens to be a chapter. I was given the responsibility to overlook all chapters in all universities. So some of your seniors might know me, this annoying girl who always comes after them asking for stats. Okay, what are your office details? Give me your membership details. Likewise, I bugged them a lot. That was my job actually. So that wasn't, well, intentional, but not intended in a harmful manner. Yeah, so the bottom left picture is the set of vice chairs we had along with the student sectional student representative and our SAC chair last year, that is 2023. And that flyer was the top left flyer was made for me by the SAC when I made it first to the R10. I'm in the R10 this year as well. I couldn't find the flyer that was made. Yeah. So that's about it this side. So these are all opportunities we got through the CS, through the exposure, and because of our decision to become active in IEEE Computer Society CS. We could have stayed dormant after joining. There is that option because no one will come and force you to do work and give your time and effort towards this course, but we chose to, and it acted in our favor. Yeah, shall we move to the next slide, Nipun? All right. Is this mine or yours?
It says.
Okay, so funding and support. When it comes to Chapter Startup Fund, I think I'm not very sure when IEEE Computer Society SLTC was formed. Do you have, can Kavindu confirm whether you all have a computer society at SLTC?
Yes, it was formed in 2020.
2020. Okay, so
Yes.
then you're not very eligible to this. So this computer society is a very generous society. They do fund when you ask, but you have to provide valid documents and valid plans to them. You have to prove that you're going to work, and if you do that, they will give you the funds and all. So for the chapter startups, the society usually gives $150. You just have to submit the report. Yeah, now y'all can't because your chapters are too old now to apply for that grant, and Nipun will explain about this slide.
Yeah. So even though you guys can't apply for the chapter startup fund, you can apply for the chapter grants program, where any chapter is eligible. But it's a first come, first serve basis. So do keep in mind be aware of the deadlines for this chapter grants program. So you can look this up online and see when is the next deadline and when they're opening applications. So, and when you're doing this, draft a meaningful proposal with, a proper timeline of, how your chapter is going to grow. And so depending on your requirements, you can ask for a small, medium, or large grant, up to $2,000. So if you're going big, you can pick the largest grant out there. And yeah, so do keep this in mind and, take advantage of this because this is something that's, for you guys, right? So you can use this to, host incredible events and, to, basically give your volunteers a good time, So yeah, that's the chapter grants program. And now scholarship and award opportunities. So there are three scholarships and awards that are available. One is a Richard E. Mervyn Scholarship, which is which recognizes and rewards active student volunteer leaders in student branches or chapters, who shows promise in their academic and professional efforts. And then we have the Lance Stanford Lawson Award, which is students to encourage them to develop their skills and their communication skills and in advancement of computer science. And then we have the Upstream Pi Epsilon Award, which encourages academic excellence in the computing discipline. You can learn more about these scholarships by checking out their student scholarships and awards website. And yeah, and you can click on these links to learn more about these and the eligibility criteria and stuff. So yeah, I would highly recommend if you guys to either apply or to ask someone who who is eligible for these awards to apply as well. I think as Thrividya said, if you're a Sri Lankan, you actually have a really good chance at this because Sri Lanka does volunteer a lot, so a lot of volunteers are eligible for these type of awards. So yeah, next up, the membership.
Right.
So
So to apply to those awards, to be active in IEEE Computer Society, you just have to first join a student branch because you all are still students. Your computer society is affiliated to the respective student branches of your university. So you need to buy the IEEE student membership, and then you can buy the IEEE Computer Society student membership. So it is only $2. All you can have all this fun. So like what we showed in the previous slides were the experiences we had. For us, they are like very valuable, and those are invaluable, to be honest. And for you, you can make your own experiences. You can make better ones, and there's a big chance that you can make better experiences, you can make better memories, and you can create better opportunities for yourselves by joining the IEEE Computer Society. And you just have to spend only measly $2 out of your pocket. I think you spend more than $2 a day, like for useless things. You just have to dedicate one day's expense to buy that membership. Obviously, the $2 is applicable only if you all have the IEEE membership. So if you have to buy the IEEE membership and then the Computer Society membership, then that will be more than $2. So Nipun is showing the prices now. Yeah, the student membership is $9. I think no, not $7. A student is a student
yeah,
membership, and
yeah, there are a
then
lot of combinations. Yeah,
yeah,
actually, so it'll be better if you guys go through the different. So if you do have a IEEE member account, then yeah, you can also, yeah, since everyone is a student, if you do not have one, it'll be $9, as the said. If you do have a IEEE membership, it's only $2.
yeah.
So
So I think
yeah,
I suppose you all have IEEE memberships, and if you haven't renewed or if you haven't bought your Computer Society membership, do go to the site and renew and or buy the membership because it opens you up into wider horizons. But you all have to use it wisely. Otherwise, if you just buy the membership and then you just stay at home without doing anything, that won't matter. So use the membership, buy the membership, and get the maximum use out of the money you spend. Okay, like create a path yourselves. All right.
Yeah. So the website also gives you all the benefits that you get, like you can network with peers, get recognized, have access to research. So yeah, so there are a lot of different things that you can get access to with the membership. So yeah, would highly recommend you join the IEEE Computer Society. And yeah, again, for more information, you can find all this on the web, most of what we mentioned. And for more clarifications, feel free to reach out to the SAC chair, Randisha, or any other member of the Students Activities Committee of the IEEE CSSL. So yeah, that's us
Yeah.
signing off. Yeah.
So adding to that, you can discover global volunteering opportunities through the IEEE Computer Society site. But also you can like going straight away into global opportunities is it's a big jump. Sometimes there is a high possibility that you won't make it. So better take small steps, and first join your student branch chapter, volunteer there, make a name to yourself there, and then join national initiatives, and then there it is quite easy for you to go to the global levels. You might not even want to go to the regional level. There is a big chance that you can straight away go and join the global initiatives, because the uh, what do you call it, the lack of Sri Lankans is acting into your advantage here. You can, by being Sri Lankan, you can make a difference. So grab that chance. You all have time, and CS is very kind to the student members. So use that kindness and create an impact. Yeah, let's move on to the next slide. I think that's about it for our presentation. Thank you very much for listening to us. It's been a pleasure talking to y'all, aspiring volunteers, young and aspiring volunteers. So if you have any more questions, please reach out to Randisha. He's the site chair. I think he's the one who's forcing y'all to do this event today. So reach out to him. He's very kind and he will be very willing to help you all out. And if you have any questions about WIE or YP, reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. I'm not very active in CS now, that's why. Yeah. So that's about it. Thanks for listening. It's been a pleasure. Nipun?
Yeah, that's all I have from mine as well. Thank you. Yeah, over to you guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nipun and Ms. Thrividya, for that insightful speech. Leadership and volunteering really do go hand in hand, and your journey is truly inspiring.
Before we end the session, I'd like to extend a huge thank you for the IEEE Society Sri Lanka chapter and the student branch chapters of both UCSC and SLTC for organizing this event. Your hard work and dedication have made this possible today. And last but not least, thank you for all of you for being such an engaged and enthusiastic audience. Remember, empowerment through leadership and volunteering is within your reach. So keep pushing boundaries and keep making a difference. Thank you for everyone for being here today. We hope you have enjoyed the session and found it valuable. So stay tuned for more exciting events from our IEEE Computer Society chapter. Have a great day and good night. So thank you.